Detachment isn't coldness, it's regulation. Many women are taught that stepping back emotionally means becoming distant, unkind, or uncaring. But healthy detachment is not about shutting down the heart. It is about learning how to stay present without becoming consumed by someone else's chaos. In this episode, we explore the difference between emotional shutdown and mature, grounded detachment. Drawing on core Stoic practices, such as focusing on what is truly within your control and pausing before you automatically agree with every emotional impression, you'll begin to see how emotional steadiness can replace reactivity. We also look at insights from modern emotion regulation research, including the difference between healthy cognitive reappraisal and simple suppression, which often leads to more stress over time. Studies on self-distancing and reflective thinking show that stepping back internally can reduce rumination and help us respond with greater clarity. For many women in midlife, this shift becomes essential. After years of emotional labor, overgiving, and rescuing others from their own struggles, detachment becomes a way to protect your energy without losing your compassion. In this reflection, you'll learn how to remain kind without becoming entangled, how to stay calm when others are dysregulated, and why detachment can actually safeguard your softness rather than destroy it. It allows you to care without carrying, to witness without absorbing, and to remain anchored in your own emotional sovereignty. Many women fear detachment because they think detachment means being cold. They think, if I detach, I become hard. If I detach, I stop loving. If I detach, I become like them. So today, we're going to separate two things that look similar but are completely different: coldness and detachment. Coldness is shutting down. Coldness is punishment. Coldness is avoidance. Coldness is, I feel nothing. Detachment is different. Detachment is regulation. Detachment is clarity. Detachment is I can feel without being hijacked. This is where Stoicism becomes helpful. The Stoics never taught that you should be emotionless. They taught that you should not be ruled by false judgments. They trained people to notice impressions and decide whether to assent to them. So detachment begins with one question: what story did my mind just tell, and is it true? Because many women do not just feel pain, they feel pain, and then they add meaning. I'm not enough. I will be abandoned. I have failed. I must fix this now. Those meanings create panic, not the event, the meaning. So practical Stoicism says, pause, notice the impression, test it, choose your response. Now, modern psychology gives a similar tool. Self-distancing research shows that reflecting from a distance perspective reduces emotional reactivity and supports meaning-making without rumination. That is not avoidance. That is adaptive processing. So detachment is not, I don't care. Detachment is, I care, but I will not bleed. Now let's bring in family systems. If you grew up in a family where you absorbed everyone's emotions, you learned fusion. You learned to feel responsible for other people's moods. So detachment feels like abandonment. But it is not abandonment. It is differentiation. It is knowing where you end and where they begin. Here's how you can tell the difference. After coldness, you feel tense, tight, rigid. After detachment, you feel clear, steady, soft, but firm. Coldness isolates, detachment protects. Now, let's make it real. Detachment looks like, I'm not going to argue when you're escalated. I'm willing to talk when it's calm. I'm not explaining my boundary again. I won't beg to be respected. You're not punishing them. You are refusing to be dragged into chaos. Detachment also looks like letting people experience consequences, not rescuing, not chasing, not repeating yourself. Now, the fear many women have is, if I detach, I will lose them. And sometimes, yes, because some people don't want intimacy. They want access. They want your emotional labor. They want your attention. They want your stability. So when you detach, you remove the free resource, and that reveals the truth. Now I want you to practice a simple tool this week. It's called the 3 feet back tool. When someone triggers you, imagine yourself taking 3 feet back inside your mind. Not physically, internally. You're still present, but you are not fused. Then say, what is happening, and what am I making it mean? That one question turns panic into clarity. Detachment is not coldness. Detachment is sovereignty. It is love with boundaries. It is empathy with self-respect. It is softness with structure. Notice what resonated and notice what resisted. Both are information. Sometimes what unsettles you is not attack, it is recognition. You cannot change your past. You cannot rewrite the years you overgave. You cannot undo the times you stayed longer than you should have. But you can change what you tolerate now. You can change what you explain away. You can change what you excuse. You can change the standards you quietly lower to keep peace. Awareness does not make you cold. It makes you clear. And when a good woman becomes clear, she stops negotiating with patterns that cost her dignity. She stops mistaking endurance for love. She stops calling emotional labor devotion. She stops trying to be the reason someone else matures. She turns inward. She stabilizes herself. And from that place, her choices change naturally, not dramatically, not angrily, quietly. Until next time, stay conscious, stay steady, and stay awake.